Welcome back, everybody, to the fabulous, most groovy podcast around, the Uranus Awards. That's not our name, but we're affiliated with the Uranus Awards. We are going in deep. My name's Zakk, and with me are my co-hosts, Max and Mike.
What's up?
Yo.
Also, it's Going In Deep broadcast from Uranus.
Yeah, we're from Uranus right now. This is where we are.
I understand.
That was a really good joke.
Are you still wondering what this is?
Yes.
Every week, Going In Deep, we'll be doing a podcast here at Valerian Studios in New York City, where we'll be breaking down and discussing sci-fi, comic book, superhero, horror, fantasy, and any other movie that is eligible for the Uranus Awards. They'll be live streamed from right here in Mill Iron Studios on January 14th, 2018.
I'm really happy that your coffee, I hope that coffee sip gets in the podcast.
I'm doing this podcast on 3 hours of sleep, so...
I didn't go to sleep till 5 last night. I was watching the new Christopher Nolan. I watched Insomnia last night. And because I have insomnia, so I watched Insomnia.
Perfect.
Well, had insomnia and I ordered Domino's pizza.
But what did we all watch this weekend? What are we talking about today?
Valerian.
You
can hear the
the
excitement
city
in
of
our voices.
1,000 planets.
So before we get down to brass tacks, Mike, what was the story about?
Okay, so we got two characters. Valerian, main guy.
Starring
and
Dane DeHaan.
DeHaan. And Laureline, I actually forget how to pronounce.
It's French, Mike. It's Laureline.
Okay.
Whoa.
So you got these two badasses, and they work for the government. They got a super top secret mission, and it kind of unravels as we get to know them.
And it takes place what? How many hundreds of years from now?
It might be
400 years in the
1,000.
future.
No,
500
because
years in the
it started off with 20 something.
Let's not get into spoilers, but
the intro when it said the years, 400 years passes. I mean, that's not a spoiler. It's literally within the first 5 minutes. No, it's got to be at least 400 or 500 years in the future.
Definitely.
But yeah, initial thoughts. Just right off the bat, what were our initial thoughts, gents?
I thought it was enjoyable.
It was a good space romp, I guess.
For once, I'm the only one that thought it was enjoyable.
Yeah, that really surprises me about that.
I cannot believe this.
I actually the fact that you like this movie so much.
I didn't say I like it so much. I said
You
it
gave
was
it a
enjoyable.
4-star rating. That is so high for you.
Yeah, that's
It is.
pretty good.
Okay, here's my thing about this movie. I will say it was one of the most visual, one of the most visually, wonderful things I've ever seen in my life. The CGI, in my opinion, was as good as Avatar. In my opinion. Take out the CGI, and that was one of the worst films I've ever seen in my life.
Do you think best CGI of the year?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's still more to come, but, that movie was gorgeous.
So here's the thing, though, is it was so much more for me than just good CGI creatures running around or CGI aliens.
Did anything else happen? I missed it.
I thought there was a lot of interesting concepts.
Oh, yeah, please tell me about them.
Well,
Get
there's
into that
one
a little
I'll
bit.
talk about, I guess, more in spoilers, but
Uh-huh.
they did the space opera genre, but what I enjoyed was I saw new things that I haven't seen in Star Trek or Star Wars.
More exotic, more alien, that type of deal.
We'll get into it in spoilers, I guess.
Okay.
You have to say something right here. You just led me up. I want to know now.
Give
just
us a teaser. Just a
like,
little
something.
Okay,
taste.
so the whole idea of the bazaar scene, the little market, I thought that was a really cool concept, and I thought it was filmed a really interesting
I will
way.
agree with you on that. I thought
That's
one of
something
the
I
high
haven't
points.
seen before, and because they did something original, I give them props.
I will give you that. I will give you that. Yeah.
The intro is great. They did it to David Bowie's Space Oddity.
Yo, the soundtrack was
Fantastic.
awesome.
Yeah.
The soundtrack was great. Yeah.
And that,
I mostly just remember David Bowie, and then they had Bob Marley somewhere in the middle.
But you know what I liked is
please
the
tell
intro
me.
was concise, and of course it was to David Bowie, so I'm a little biased. But they took, 5-6 minutes to explain this is the world that we're operating in.
And I loved... I was
They
telling,
didn't just throw you right in. We're just good luck, get used to it.
But I was telling Mike when we saw it, I was like, the first 5 minutes, I loved it.
Yeah.
And then as soon as like the beam hit, there's no spoiler, and Dane DeHaan just like sat up, I was like, oh. And then I was like, oh, this is bad.
Okay, so yeah, that's the
what-
non-spoiler dislikes. Our
Okay.
two leads were terrible.
What were?
Yeah.
Both of the leads.
Yeah.
It just feels like they barely even know each other. And then one of the first things he wants to do is marry Laureline.
Spoilers, Mike.
It's like in the
No.
first 5 seconds of the movie.
That's like that's part of the problem with their characters.
I agree.
This is like an aspect of their characters throughout the whole movie.
Yes.
Valerian wants to get married to Laureline, and it doesn't work. It doesn't feel natural.
It feels like they've met twice.
they have like this weird play wrestling scene as we like get
They
When we
just
first meet them, yeah.
They just seem like friends with benefits.
It felt awkward.
But not even. Like, they literally, I feel like they were just partnered 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And that was the first time they were just like, oh my God, I was uncomfortable.
So here's my thing, right? Is, you know, as Mike and I know, Valerian is based off a French comic book, Valerian and Laureline,
Right.
And this comic has tons of stories.
Yeah.
Why is it that we're getting a marriage proposal in the first movie?
I could not.
To that
answer
extent, it felt like you could watch this movie as like the third movie in a trilogy, and like this is
Sure.
their conclusion or something of them, you know.
It's the first time we're seeing the characters on screen, but this is like pretty deep into their story from the comics. From what I understand.
The acting was so bad.
It was
And I
atrocious.
was really upset because I loved Dane DeHaan in Amazing Spider-Man 2. And I also loved him, we were talking about it earlier, I loved him in Chronicle.
Between his weird Keanu Reeves impression throughout the whole film and her not making any facial expressions, I just loved every scene that they weren't exactly in.
But then how did you give it such a good rating?
Because it was enjoyable. And, you know, another thing that I enjoyed was the fact that they managed to do a lot of subplots while staying on course.
Oh, I disagree.
I get that, but personally, they just felt like it's pulling away from the main story.
I agree.
Look, the whole city of Alpha, right? You got all these different alien cultures living together or whatever. I felt like you actually got to explore some of them and kind of get a vibe of what those are like without them going way far off of the main plot.
Which, their main plot, it seems, was them getting married. And that's what bothered me the most. Because I just didn't give two shits about it. And, like,
Well, you talk about Alpha, the city, and I mean, it seemed pretty cool, but actually, one of my biggest issues with it was that as they get towards the city, they kind of just do a lore dump about what it's about, who's there, what's going on, the political and, like, economy of the place. And you get to see this environment, like the water people, or like that environment with the robots. And it just felt like they're throwing a lot at you all at once to get you in.
I thought they did it in a fine way.
It's maybe like a 2-minute like sequence there.
The computer just explains, like, this is the city where most of this movie is going to take place, and that was fine.
It felt like something like that should come more natural, though.
If there wasn't a scene like that, would you have really gotten as much of a feel of what Alpha is supposed to be like?
I think so, yeah.
see, I think I think on our website one of the movies I'm embarrassed I don't like is Blade Runner, because I have no idea what is going on, and I feel like I needed that, what you just said. I needed that, like, text, the computer to say.
Watch the version everyone hates with the narration.
And that's the reason I'll eventually love that movie, because I was like, what is happening? I don't, like, because I'm such, obviously, a geek about, like, fantasy and all this stuff, but, like, I was so bored during Blade Runner. So I like that computer, like, where, like, it's set up, like, this is what this is. And I do think it was needed. Or else I would have been very lost, like I was with Blade Runner. And I hope that they do a better job with Blade Runner 2049 with being like, this is the world.
Well, I guess
mean-
we'll find out.
Yeah, I mean, I know that's also one of your favorite. Isn't it like your favorite movie of all time?
It's definitely in my top
Sure,
10.
it's high up there.
It's in my top 5.
Yeah, I gotta watch it again with the narration, even though he hated doing it. But whatever.
But back to Valerian and the lore.
Well, in the City of a Thousand Planets. Sorry, I just wanted to include that. Go ahead.
I don't know, just it didn't feel right. Nothing about it felt like established or like it was meant to be there. Like it didn't come at me naturally. It just kind of felt like here's a lot of crazy shit, like have at it with the CGI.
Well, that's kind of the idea of a space opera.
Well, Luke, what's his name? Luke Besson.
Luke Skywalker from Star Wars?
No. What did he direct? Fifth Element?
Yes.
And it's kind of like he brings kind of
He
like
also
that
did
weirdness
Lucy.
to it.
He also did Lucy. Just saying. Keep going. I just want to add that point. Is there anything else that's like in the non-spoiler section that we can talk about?
Supporting cast. I mean, you have Rihanna as Bubble.
Oh, I have so many things to say about her in the spoiler section.
All right,
Yeah.
then let's move it to spoilers.
But I'm trying. Yeah, music, costumes, makeup, hairstyling was awesome. CGI was stupid good. Oh wait, the writing is terrible. The writing is just so bad.
I don't think the writing was as terrible as the acting was.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't the lines. Like I said, it was Dane DeHaan's weird-ass Keanu Reeves impersonation.
I mean, then maybe if you
I am a federal agent. Don't mess with me.
and I think that was part of it.
Laureline,
It took
you know I love you, babe.
literally his deliveries were just so. I
it
don't
was-
like pooping on actors, but like,
And I'm not shitting on Keanu Reeves. I actually like Keanu Reeves.
oh, I love him, and I love Dane
amazing.
DeHaan, but this was not his shining moment.
So it's
And
not-
I think there were a lot of really, really corny lines that were delivered really, really cornily, if that is a word.
Cornely,
Yes.
going with it.
Cringy, maybe.
Just like, oh god, that was, you didn't know. Oh god. Meryl Streep would have done it better.
Okay, let me ask you this: who would you have cast in these roles of Valerian and Laureline?
Okay, so in my mind, Valerian needs to be someone who's actually like sexy, and I do not get that vibe from Dane DeHaan.
No, not at all.
In the slightest.
And I think in the beginning they were talking about all the
All the women
girls
that he was with,
playing
he was like with like hundreds of girls. I'm like, wait,
How?
Right?
Yeah.
How?
I'm like, maybe you're just like a really good talker, but like, get someone who is like really good looking.
Maybe tougher. He seemed kind of boyish.
Which I did. I liked how the boy in him. I liked that like the two of them were like the people in charge, like the young atmosphere like that they lived in. I liked that, but I just think that him specifically, like she looks fine. in
So
the
again,
role.
who would you have cast in this role?
Can you come back to me while we move on, maybe? Because I have to actually think.
That's a tough one.
I mean, God. I think We have to keep talking because we have to keep talking.
Hey, you
I don't
keep
think
saying.
Okay,
thing.
so I'll say, I wish that they would have gotten Dylan O'Brien as Valerian and Lily Collins as Laureline. That's my pick.
You keep saying Keanu Reeves. I'll just go with
Keanu Reeves.
Valerian should have been Keanu Reeves.
There you go. Okay, so I guess we're moving into spoilers now.
Yeah.
I want to get into the meaty part of this movie.
Okay,
Let's talk about it.
Spoiler alert. Doo-doo-doo. Cue the music. Brett,
so
get on that.
when I saw the trailers for this movie, I had no interest in seeing this. Honestly, I probably wouldn't have seen it if it wasn't for this podcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would've.
My expectations were very low, and it exceeded them. Like I said, I loved the intro, but I feel like I really got into the movie when they had the dimensional market.
Mm-hmm.
And the
that
whole
part was sweet. Now that I think about it, that part was sweet.
I haven't seen something like that in another movie.
It was cool, like, but I couldn't just I
The
could
whole
not help but
it was an
think, how
action
is that
scene
gonna work?
jumping between dimensions.
Just by taking your glasses on and off, that was sweet.
That was
Like-
pretty cool. And then the whole thing where his hand gets stuck in another dimension.
No, that was very clever. I would have rather seen Ansel Elgort, whatever how you say his name in Baby Driver and Fault in Our Stars. He's not even brooding, but just anyone.
Anyone
Do
else?
Tom Holland for all I care.
All right.
all praise Tom Holland. Sorry, continue.
No, I mean, I thought that was great.
Drawing you in right with the market scene.
I forgot
Yeah.
about that part. Yes.
The whole chase scene on the bus where they're shooting at that weird rhino dog monster thing.
I didn't. As soon as the shopping scene was over, I was bored. The bus scene you're talking about, I was like,
I was kind of disappointed. Like, I don't know. They were supposed to be like highly trained, like military guys with like all these sweet guns. Just bounces right off the monster.
It's a tough monster. Who cares?
I didn't so much mind that. I just like.
You can appreciate the flight scene where Dane DeHaan's chasing the little pyramid ship.
The reason I gave this a 3 out of 5 stars is because of the CGI. The reason that, like, was it good? Sure, but only because, not the idea of it, not because of like what was happening, because of what was being shown on the screen. All of the stuff that wasn't Dane DeHaan in a little spaceship. I could care less about that. I liked the spaceship itself, and I like seeing like all of like the beautiful colors they used. That is why this movie was so brilliant.
What did you think of the supporting cast?
John Goodman was pretty good. He played John Goodman, right? He played that.
For voiceover?
Yeah,
He played Jabba the Hutt.
The mob boss.
Yeah, at the
He was
market.
Jabba.
He's got a really good
I
voice.
really enjoyed the 3 little gargoyle-looking aliens.
Those dudes were funny.
That was pretty hilarious.
They got all the tips like split between the 3 of them, so she can't kill.
It's like Minority Report, you know? Like they're all like connected kind of thing.
Yeah.
That was cool.
What did we think of Rihanna?
Okay. Here we go.
Oh man.
So I will give her 1 like. So her character's name is Bubble. Bubble's adorable. Big spoiler, Bubble dies, and I think that death was very well done. Okay, that is what I think the good part of Rihanna. So, if I see Rihanna is about to be in a movie, I expect her to sing. If I see Beyonce is about to be in a movie, she better be singing. If I see a really, 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 really hot girl in a movie, I'm assuming that she's going to be like in a bathing suit. Why was she just like a little dancer? I wanted to see her sing. I don't know why it bothered me so much, but it did.
It's not a musical, Max.
I'm not asking. I would be pissed if it was. But why was she just like
There.
She was a stripper.
But they could have had
she was an alien stripper.
which is a great idea. Love it. Why didn't they cast an actor?
There was no reason to have her there.
0.
I'm gonna agree with that. Her acting wasn't even good.
No. Actually, I think her acting was fine. But if you're gonna like use someone for a specific thing, use them. And I heard her background vocals during the pole dancing scene, which was like, okay, great. But like, you could have casted an actor, like someone who knows how to act. And like, I appreciate them giving her like whatever, but I was just like, why?
Rihanna's scenes, or like the entire part of the movie that she's in, is just an example of some of the biggest problems with the movie, and that's could entirely skipped it. There was like very little point to having like 20 minutes of her character there.
But the point was to hide him so he could infiltrate the base.
It's kind of like a subplot though that takes away from the rest of the plot.
No, okay, wait. I get why Rihanna's character was there. I think that she was important in getting into the base. Right. I think what you just said, I don't necessarily agree with, but why, we talked about this, why did they go back and forth between like trying to save each other? Who saved each other first?
I think Valerian saves Laureline.
Right.
And then she immediately has to save him.
I was like, no, just go to the action. I don't care about this relationship. I just don't.
So what you're saying is you wanted more like kind of a team up. Because honestly, that's one thing I actually didn't mind about the movie is they were split up so often that you really felt like you had 2 main leads. You're kind of following these 2 parallel stories.
Yeah, but
I get that, but
But they made it so much about their relationship, which was, I think, my biggest beef with the movie.
Well, again, here's my thing is I don't have a problem that they have a relationship.
No.
I have a problem that they're jumping to marriage in the first movie.
Sure. I mean, it's just uncomfortable the whole time, but
it just doesn't feel right.
I just
Valerian...
think... Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, they could have done 20 more minutes of, like, the final, like, battle sequence or whatever with the aliens and skipped trying to save each other one time. I think that would have made me give it a 0.25 better rating.
A 0.25?
That's better than So, I was just like, what? It's just not needed.
Here's an alarming afterthought. One thing we haven't even brought up is the villain of this film.
I was about to talk about that.
An afterthought, just like you said.
Exactly.
Didn't even matter.
And you knew, and the annoying thing about it is that you knew he was bad from the second he entered, which is fine.
Yeah.
But it was just like, let's just get to the point where he actually reveals that he's the bad guy.
So you have this general.
Well, here's the thing is, he was the bad guy, so for anyone...
This is Clive Owen, who plays Commander Aaron Flitt.
Not a bad actor, though.
No.
Clive Owen's a great actor.
He's a great actor.
But he's absent for most of the movie.
It's true. He gets captured
He
early on.
orchestrated the genocide of an entire race of aliens, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the aliens kidnap him, 30 minutes into the movie or so?
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't come back till, the last 20 minutes.
But he put so many things in place that, the robots, trying to shoot everyone. So,
right.
He was the guy. And so, when, the guy below him tried to get his position, there was no, access denied.
Dead giveaway, by the way. Access denied.
Yeah.
Only a general of this certain rank can access this. I wonder who that is.
Again, writing, I'm just try and make it a little bit of a surprise.
And they're the robots, the K-trons or something. They kept talking about it. I'm like, I wonder when they're going to do a thing.
And they kept, the camera, they kept, taking at them, and then the robots would, do this. They would just, look over to the right a little bit, then look over to the left. And then it would shoot to the next scene. I'm like, you're obviously bad.
What you're saying about the robots, though, that's nothing new. That's the whole principle of Chekhov's gun. And that's the idea of you introduce a weapon in the first act, and by the third act, it has to be used.
But the difference between that is that it is on stage, and it's not shoved in your face. Unlike this, where they shoved it all in your mouth.
It's coming.
Sure, I mean it's been done in better ways. Look at Avengers: Age of Ultron. The first act when they're all hanging out, there's Thor's hammer. You know what I mean? And then by the third act, Vision's picking up Thor's hammer.
Right. They did that was done really well.
Right, because it's an afterthought. You don't think about it, and then you're like, oh hey.
Oh, that's a nice nod. Oh right, they did that. Oh, that's cool.
Right.
Unlike this. What other interesting things happened in this movie? I'm gonna let you answer that because you seem to really you really loved it, didn't you?
I didn't really love it. If I really loved it, I would have given it more than...
How about this? What was your favorite part? What really made you like this movie
Besides
overall?
the shop scene.
It was just the world building.
Go play Minecraft.
Oh, okay.
If you want to... seriously, what?
No.
Never mind.
Look, Mike, we're about to fight because I'm going to say this. But the world that Valerian established seemed way more interesting than the whole of Middle-earth and Lord of the Rings.
Oh, my God.
Shut your mouth.
Say that.
Shut your mouth. I don't even love Lord of the Rings, but
Because when you're watching Lord of the Rings, you're just supposed to go with everything. This explained it this is into the future, and these are all these
That's
cultures.
part of the problem, though. They have to explain every little thing. They can't just go with it, like you said. The CGI makes everything look... Yeah. The CGI makes everything look really cool, but, it felt about as deep as a puddle.
But it was a good mixture, too, you have to admit, of prosthetics and CGI.
Oh, yeah. It was fantastic.
That is the only reason the movie was great. And great is a very, very, very strong word.
It's the only thing that holds
You don't
it
think the
up,
overall plot of the whole alien genocide being covered up and all that.
But that wasn't the plot to me. The plot was so much about the relationship, and that is what bothered me. If they would have cut that whole marriage, even if they, whatever, if they got rid of, they were so awkward together, and, I love you, I want to marry you. If they got rid of that, that movie would have been so great.
The whole plot was what is going on in this city.
But I didn't feel it like that. I feel like that was a subplot to the relationship.
If you think about it, what this movie really was, or at least what it tried to be, maybe it didn't happen for you guys, was basically like an FBI mystery thriller,
Right.
set to the background of a space opera. And I like that, and I would want to see another one.
I get what they tried to do, but they
You just don't think it landed.
literally, they're just, because I was all about that. Like the first 5 minutes, I was like, "This is sweet." As soon as like the all the aliens died, that was so sad. The one who the daughter who died, that was so sad.
Would you recommend this movie to people?
I would recommend seeing it in theaters.
It's a good view, but I can't.
I wouldn't
Can't say it's like a good watch.
No, I mean, if you're gonna see it, go to the theater. Don't like buy it on. I mean, buy it on DVD, Blu-ray, or download it on iTunes or whatever. But I think if you're gonna enjoy it, go see it in a big screen where you can like feel all the like CGI, because it really was beautiful.
Maybe 3D could have like.
I would have loved to see it in
styled
3D.
Yeah,
I think that would have been cool.
We saw it in like 2D, but I still felt it was like pretty cool overall.
Yeah, it was fantastic. I'll say it again. It is the best CGI visual work I've seen since Avatar.
Okay, so where is this going?
I don't care.
Brutal honesty, I like it.
Where do you think this is going?
I mean, oh sorry, you go.
Probably 1,000 other planets, maybe?
Maybe.
Boom.
I
go
mean,
back to one of the stories from the comics.
yeah, couldn't they could easily make another one.
Yeah, they could.
Honestly, though, I kind of want to reboot already.
Start over again.
I like this world, and it seems interesting, but the acting is just so terrible.
Well, judging from The Fifth Element, I don't think we're going to get a sequel or a prequel.
It was just not good. Love Max.
Oh yeah, that's a. What did this get rated overall?
I mean, personally, or like Rotten Tomatoes, or
Rotten
what?
Tomatoes.
The official tomato meter gave it 54%. And can we discuss that they what did they give Suicide Squad?
Oh God! Like,
Shall we bet now?
Sorry, Academy Award winning Suicide
it's
Squad.
like 26%, I think, or something.
That's my favorite thing to say. Hey, Mike, Zach, do you guys want to come over and watch Academy Award winning Suicide Squad? 25%.
Okay, that was close.
Um,
But here,
I'm not gonna lie, I like Suicide Squad more than this.
wow, that is a
Yeah, ugh.
bold statement.
Actually, that.
Here's the thing, though.
Do you agree with me?
It's a tough one.
I cared
Like,
more
they're
about
both-
the Suicide Squad plot. That's hard to say. Suicide Squad. Shit. The plot of
3
that
times
movie
fast.
with Will Smith, where it shouldn't have been about him. I cared more about that plot and those characters more than I did about in this movie.
They're both bad for like separate but like similar reasons.
Look, were you guys following Comic-Con at all this weekend?
Yes.
No.
So you heard they confirmed Suicide Squad 2 is happening, right?
Which I'm very excited for,
Okay.
I think.
The point I'm trying to make is it doesn't matter how much critics like it or don't like it.
Totally.
How much money did it make?
That's
If you
all
can pull
that
that up.
matters.
Pull it up. How much did
Ticket
Valerian
sales.
make?
Let's see. Valerian, ticket. You keep talking.
Now I know it made like, or no, I'm sorry, it didn't make. It was made with like $200 million for their budget. A lot of which Besson funded himself, from what I heard.
Really?
Yeah.
Raked in more than $750 million.
Oh,
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. We may get a sequel.
And I'll see it. I'll see the dick out of it, but because of the CGI.
Did better than what was his last one, Lucy, I think, and that's what
Okay.
he was aiming for too.
I loved Lucy.
Never saw it.
Nope.
I just posted it on. Follow us on Instagram. I posted about Lucy because it came out 2-3 years ago yesterday. I really like Lucy. Lucy was 20,000 times better than this. Yes, I will say this: Suicide Squad is better than Valerian.
I disagree.
It's not a high bar to pass though.
Yeah, I can confidently say
Valerian is like pretty far down there for me. Like, I mean, I gave it a 3, but that's basically based entirely off the images.
But
Okay, can you name a better space opera that is not Star Wars?
that. Star Trek.
Maybe...
Star Trek.
No, actually, I'm going to go with Max. Star Trek.
Wow.
It's so good.
Wait, you would put Valerian over Star Trek?
No, I'm not saying that, but that's an easy cop-out. I'm saying as far as...
I can't think of any at the top of my head, so give me something.
I mean, I liked Valerian.
But give me, like, I can't even think of, like, anything else that's not Star Wars or Star Trek. Like, what other options do we have?
Oh my god, Battlestar Galactica.
Haven't seen it.
Oh, you guys gotta update your...
How about, does Stargate count?
I think Stargate counts.
Okay. I mean, I know I just mentioned it, but I didn't really like Stargate.
Did you like Stargate less than Valerian?
I mean, let's see. Jason Momoa, Stargate, Valerian. Jason Momoa. Jason Momoa.
All right, moving on.
Yeah, please. So, what... Okay, so, what do we think this could possibly be nominated for the first annual Uranus Awards? What do you guys have?
CGI,
Totally.
tightest script,
Oh, shut your mouth. Oh my god.
costume and makeup. Like I said, it was the script, not the acting.
You thought the script was good?
If I read this script as a novel, I would like it.
I don't. Oh my god.
Yeah, you probably like the comics then.
I probably would. I wouldn't know, Mike.
I cannot believe that you have this for tightest script.
So for those of you listening, Mike and I went halvesies last week on Volume 1 of
Oh
Valerian
my God, here we
Laureline.
go.
And he was supposed to read it, and I never got to.
So it turns out that the comic that we got, though, doesn't even have the story for the movie in it.
Are there other interesting stories in it?
Actually, yes. Turns out that Laureline is from, like, 11th century France, because Valerian is also a time traveler.
Why did we not see this?
Because
they had to talk about marriage,
Yeah,
don't you
they-
know?
That's
They're-
pretty awesome.
Yeah, they could have done a lot better.
Then I
And
definitely hope we get sequels.
I do too.
What are your award nominations,
Okay.
Max?
Coolest costumes, makeup, hairstyling. For sure, most believable CGI. I think that'll be a top contender because it was just so good. I really dig the poster. I think it's really cool looking. I love the alien, like, in the center of the V. I love the 3 little rascal dudes. It's a very, like, just visually stimulating poster. I really like it. I have it for... And then best rockin' music, most rockin' music. I really like the soundtrack. I really like the orchestrations. I think it moved the plot along. Other than that, I'm still not over the fact that you have it for tightest script. Oh my god.
Yeah.
All right, go for it, Mike.
CGI, obviously, costumes, makeup, hairstyling, like, that's a given. Best romance, of course.
Really?
I can't.
I'm fucking with you.
I was about to say, how dare you? I thought about it. As I was typing my notes, I was like, should I have this as best romance?
just
No,
like-
because it's not a romance. There's no romance here.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so maybe I'm jumping the gun here, but, you know, it is the end of July. As of next week, it'll be August. So we've seen 7 months out of 12 months worth of movies.
That's good math.
I think this could win best CGI.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give it that.
That or Apes.
I feel like, actually, Star Wars isn't going to super impress me on the CGI level. Just after, what was the last one? Rogue
Well, it's
One?
not a CGI kind of franchise, you know. It's
That's true. They
use
still
a lot of
use
practical effects.
Exactly, yeah.
which is, I mean, awesome and the best. But in my opinion, the only thing that I can see topping this right now is Apes. I think because the award is called Most Believable CGI. It's not just like dopest, coolest. It's like most believable.
Mm-hmm.
Andy Serkis and what he did and like what their entire team did, which they've done
You don't get to
90,000
talk
times.
about that, Max. You were here last week.
Hey guys, I'm back. What they did is just stupid, so freaking impressive. But I don't think anything off the top of my head can beat this right now.
We'll just have to wait it out.
I don't know.
Okay, so best movie, yes or no?
Are you serious?
It's part of the show.
It sure is. I would love to hear your answer. And if you say yes, I'm gonna slap you.
I say definite yes. No, I'm just kidding. It's no.
That's Zakk getting slapped.
It was enjoyable, but it's not a best movie ever. There's been other better movies already.
Yeah.
Despicable Me 3, right?
Totally.
Okja. Okja had really great CGI.
Not better than this.
Believable CGI, though. Not CGI.
I'm just saying,
overall.
like CGI, it was great. There's a lot of good stuff.
So, should I even ask you too, best movie?
No.
Just get the fuck out of here.
Okay. That answers my question.
Dan DeHaan for president. JK.
All right, so
What's next?
I guess that's it. It's time to wrap up.
All right. Well, oh wait, what are we doing next week? What's next week's episode?
Actually, I think next week might be our first open episode. So we're going to be discussing several movies at once.
Yeah. Get ready for that. It's going to be a shit show in the best way.
Oh, that'll be exciting.
Shall we keep it a mystery? Or do we have a list?
Mystery episode. Super spooky.
Oh.
That was really cute, you guys. Anyway, so thanks for listening. You can find us at our website, www.uranus-awards.com. You can get more information on the awards show itself, and you should like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Uranus Awards. We're all over that and always posting and interacting with everyone. And do you want to maybe give us $1 or something? We have an Indiegogo page. We also have a Patreon page. So if you go on our website, you can find that right on the welcome page. So yeah, and don't forget that our live stream of the awards show is going to be January 14th, 2018. What else do we have to say, gents?
If you have any questions for us, please ask.
Yeah.
Send us your questions or
Send us your thoughts on what you thought of the movie.
your selfies. Even we'll take those.
SoundCloud. Give us a comment, something like that.
Any
Yeah.
attention is appreciated.
Yeah.
Every dollar is appreciated, too.
All right.
What do we want, boys? T-shirts, stickers, that kind of thing?
Fidget spinners.
Fidget spinners.
Merchandise coming soon.
Truly. I think we're talking about that in 5 minutes, actually.
All right.
Anyway,
All
I
right.
think that's it.
Good job, boys. This is Going in Deep, Going Dark.